Hey fam, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications.
Now, Secretary Mnuchin was testifying in front of Congresswoman Maxine Waters' Financial Services Committee yesterday. And apparently, he had someplace to go that was more important than being in front of a congressional hearing. Haven't these folks learned that you don't mess with who we call Auntie Maxine?
Mr. Secretary, I want you to know that no other secretary has ever told us the day before that they were going to limit their time in the way that you're doing. So if you want to use them as examples, you have acted differently than they have acted, and as I have said, if you wish to leave, you may.
If you'd wish to keep me here so that I don't have my important meeting and continue to grill me, then we can do that. I will cancel my meeting and I will not be back here. I will be very clear if that's the way you'd like to have this relationship.
Thank you. The gentleman, the secretary, has agreed to stay to hear all of the rest of the members.
Okay,
Please
so just
cancel your meeting
to the press.
and respect our time.
I am
Who is next on the
canceling my
list?
foreign meeting. You're instructing me to stay here and I should cancel.
No,
my
you
foreign
just
meeting.
made me an offer.
No, I didn't make you an offer.
You made me an offer that I accepted.
I did not make
Well-
you an offer. Just let's be clear.
Well,
You're
you-
instructing me. You are ordering me to stay here.
No, I'm not
either-
ordering you. I'm responding. I said you may leave anytime you want. And you said, okay, if that's what you want to do, I'll cancel my appointment and I'll stay here. So I'm responding to your request. If that's what you want to do.
That's not what I want to do. I told you.
What would you like to do?
What I've told you is I thought it was respectful that you'd let me leave at 5:15.
You are
which
free
is the
to leave
current
anytime you
period of
want.
time.
You may
Okay,
go
well then,
anytime
please-
you want.
Please dismiss everybody. I believe you're supposed to take the gravel and bang it. That's the
Please do not
appropriate-
instruct me as to how I'm to conduct this committee. Please, gentle lady, the time belongs to the chair.
There's so many places to start there. That is so gloriously terrible. Gloriously terrible is the best way I can describe that. Johanna, please lead us in where you're going with this, because it seems like a petulant back and forth of wordsmanship between the secretary and the chairwoman about, no, I didn't say you could leave. Yes, I said you could leave. You told me I had to stay. What was your reading of that?
The fact of the matter is, my position on this is, I think this back and forth happened because of sexism in America. Let's just be real. I think that if Auntie Maxine Waters were a man, I think the dialogue would have been much different. And sexism, it's a real issue in America. When you're a woman, you have to fight 10 times harder. You have to work harder than your male counterparts just so you can get the attention that you deserve so that people can listen to you. And I can guarantee you, if Auntie Maxine Waters were a man, this would have never happened.
Kelly, I want to come to you because that introduces an interesting piece, because there's also the confluence of gender and race.
And that was
and one of the things I'm curious about, because I'm not saying that Johanna is incorrect there, but I don't seem to think people from the Trump administration hold a great deal of respect for black people either.
At
so
all.
What happens when we have that confluence, Kelly?
You get something like this on national television and C-SPAN and the like. To Joanna's point, she's black and she's a woman. And we've seen Trump administration officials in front of hearings before, and in which black men are responding and, having that call and response, and they're not respecting him either. So I think it's just a blanket racism that nobody really wants to talk about, but is obviously there. And as usual, Auntie Maxine held her own, and I can't fault her for what she said. She went from reclaiming my time to recover my time, and, what are you going to say?
I wouldn't be so quick I'm so sorry. I wouldn't be so quick to call it racism, in my opinion, right? Because I think for me to call it racism, I'll need a bit more information. But what I can tell you is, it was complete disrespectful, and I think her gender played a role. But I wouldn't be so quick.
Do you think her race played a role?
In this case, I don't know. I can't make that conclusion.
I'm sorry, Scott, I want to get to you real quick, but with that comment that invited some questions that follow up. what information do you have that makes the gender obvious, that you think that caused a reason for the disrespect, but not so much the race?
Because for us to say that it was racism, we have to know more about him. Like I said, he intentionally reacted to her because of the color of her skin. And I don't have enough information about the secretary, but what I can tell you is that his interaction with Congresswoman Maxine Waters was indeed disrespectful, and I think gender played a role, but I would not be so quick to say race played a role.
You know, it's interesting. It's easy to call it the race issue, and I think it does have to do with race and sex. But the reality is it also has to do with how the Trump administration views the Democrats. They take on his personality. And so not only Mnuchin, who, when you unpack it, was very disrespectful. He wanted to tell her how to run the hearing with the gavel. He made fun of it, and then they had the tete-a-tete. But this was, you could see his white privilege. He had a very important meeting. More important than being here with a committee that has oversight over his funding and budget. He didn't think so much of her or her hearing as a Democrat, at least, than he did for his hearing meeting with a foreign dignitary. That's the first thing. But you see it across the board. The former Attorney General, who was acting Attorney General, in the hearing before the House Judiciary Committee with Nadler. This goes back to kind of your race issue. Nadler is white and Jewish, and he told Nadler that I think his time was up, that Nadler's time was up, so therefore he didn't have to answer any more questions. It is an overall view of the Republicans, the GOP, and the White House not to respect the Democrats or have any decorum whatsoever, and that's not good for America, whether you're black, white, yellow, or brown.
Reverend Joseph Lowery often says that when America stubs its toe, black America breaks its foot. And so the Trump administration seemingly demonstrates a hostility to Democrats, let alone black Democrats, let alone black women Democrats.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Calling all HBCU alumni. That's me, Scott. I know you're one as well. Yeah, all the HBCU alumni in the house. Yeah, we're deep in here today. Calling all the HBCU alumni, students, and leaders. Enter the Ford Motor Company HBCU Mobility Challenge and win $25,000 for your school. Building on their long-term support of HBCUs, Ford is looking to improve mobility in HBCU communities through innovative solutions. The winning program will receive a grant of up to $25,000 to implement their proposal. The deadline to apply has been extended to April 15th, 2019, tax day. Get the Ford application in and your taxes at the same time. Go to fgb.life. Again, F as in Frank, G as in girl, B as in boy, .life for more info. And to apply, Ford goes further in our community.
Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.